Imagine a world where the stability of nations teeters on the edge of a single decision. What happens when that decision involves the mighty United States and the embattled Ukraine? In the heart of Eastern Europe, Ukraine finds itself in the middle of a geopolitical tug-of-war. Long-standing tensions with its neighbor Russia have been escalating, leading to a situation that's far from black and white. The United States, a global superpower, has been closely observing the situation, balancing its own strategic interests with its commitment to international peace. The decision at hand? To send long-range missiles to Ukraine. This move, while potentially strengthening Ukraine's defense, could also fan the flames of conflict, leading to unforeseen consequences. It's a decision that carries weight not just for Ukraine and the US, but for the entire world. This isn't just about missiles, it's a chess move in the grand game of global politics. It's about alliances and rivalries, power and influence, peace and war. It's about the fine line between diplomatic pressure and military action, between deterrence and provocation. The stakes are high, but how did we get to this point? Let's take a journey back in time. Every decision has a story, and this one begins years before the first missile was ever packed for shipment. Rewind to February 2022. Russia invades Ukraine, sending shockwaves through global markets. European markets plummet into correction territory, with volatility levels at their highest since October 2020. The invasion prompts a surge in defense stocks and a nosedive for those with heavy exposure to Russia. This economic turmoil sets the stage for what's to come. Fast forward to October of the same year. Russia threatens to reassess its cooperation with the UN Secretary-General if he inspects drones in Ukraine. The UN Security Council convenes to discuss Russia's use of drones, with the United States, France and Britain arguing that the drones are Iranian-made and used by Russia in violation of a UN resolution. The UN Security Council's hands are tied due to Russia's veto power, putting a spotlight on the need for alternative action. Later in October, Russia's annual GROM exercises of its nuclear forces raise eyebrows. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin assures that there's no indication these drills are a cover for a real deployment. Yet the exercises, which involve intercontinental ballistic missiles, submarines and strategic bomber planes, further exacerbate tensions and give rise to questions about Russia's intentions. In the midst of these escalating events, diplomatic efforts and negotiations falter. The U.S., alongside its allies, attempts to de-escalate the situation, but to no avail. The conflict gradually intensifies, and the need for a more assertive response becomes increasingly clear. And so, the decision was made. But what does this mean for Ukraine, the U.S., and the rest of the world? A single decision can send ripples across the globe. The U.S.'s move to arm Ukraine with long-range missiles is no exception. This decision may seem like a simple act of support for Ukraine, but it carries with it a weight of implications that extend far beyond the borders of these two nations. Let's start with potential reactions from different countries. Russia, for instance, has historically been wary of any increase in Western military influence near its borders. This move by the U.S. could be interpreted as a direct provocation, escalating tensions and potentially leading to a more aggressive stance from Russia. Coupled with this, we have other nations, allies of the U.S., who may feel compelled to follow suit, creating a domino effect of military support that could further inflame the situation. Then there's the potential for escalation of the conflict within Ukraine itself. The introduction of advanced weaponry, such as long-range missiles, can significantly alter the dynamics of the conflict. It presents the risk of escalating the violence, leading to increased casualties and destruction. It also raises the stakes for both sides, making a peaceful resolution that much more difficult to achieve. This decision also has the potential to impact global political relations. It's a clear signal of the U.S.'s commitment to Ukraine, which could strengthen their diplomatic ties. However, it also risks alienating other nations who may view this as an overstep by the U.S., straining international relations. And let's not forget about the potential economic implications. The uncertainty brought about by this decision could lead to instability in global markets, affecting economies worldwide. As we look at the bigger picture, it's clear that this decision by the U.S. is not just about Ukraine. It's a move that could have far-reaching implications affecting global politics, economies, and the balance of power. It's a reminder of just how interconnected our world is, and how a single decision can have ripple effects that reach far and wide. As the world watches and waits, the effects of this decision will continue to unfold. From the heart of Ukraine to the power corridors of Washington, D.C., The decision to send long-range missiles to Ukraine has set a new course in international relations. We've seen the unfolding situation in Ukraine evolve rapidly, with each decision and countermove resonating on a global scale. The timeline of events leading to this monumental US decision has been fraught with tension and fraught with implications that reach far beyond national borders. In essence, the US's choice to supply Ukraine with long-range missiles has stirred the pot of international diplomacy, with potential ramifications that could reshape the geopolitical landscape. It's a chess game of high stakes, where every move can tip the balance of power and affect the lives of millions. Moreover, the ripple effects of this decision extend to the economic sphere, with markets reacting, defense stocks fluctuating, and questions arising about the potential for economic recession. The world is watching closely as the impact of this decision unfolds, and the future of international relations hangs in the balance. As we navigate these uncertain times, one thing remains clear: the world as we know it is changing, and we're all along for the ride.